So what happened in the month of November when it comes to real estate here in Rochester? Did home prices go down? Are interest rates moving up or down? And how is that affecting the market? Should you wait to buy until the spring market? Should you buy now? These are all very common questions that people have. I think there's a lot of buyers out there thinking about buying but not sure what to do. So in this video, I'm gonna go over what happened in November here in Rochester. I'm gonna look over different factors that affect supply and demand, because ultimately supply and demand dictate what home prices are going to do. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you some practical advice on what you can do if you're looking to buy a home or sell a home. All right, so the first thing I like to start looking at when I look at statistics is the median sale price. The median sale price for last month was $282,500. So this is, as you can see here, this is a decline from last month. But if you kind of look at the trend starting April, May, and June, when interest rates started to peak, or they were significantly going up, and you can see that it's just kind of being a downward trend, right? So we're at 282, which you might think, if you're looking to buy, wow, home prices are really going down, I should wait. Something to consider. But if we take a look at November of last year, basically that's where we were. Last year we were at 285, now we are at 282. So we're pretty much where we were last year. And if I don't know if you can remember, I can, because I'm in the real estate business and I was working with a lot of buyers and sellers, around this time. And the market was just crazy. Typically in the winter, things slow down a bit. But last year, things were pretty wild. So pricing is very similar to how it was last year. That's just something to consider. And obviously this is a demand factor, right? Now let's take a look at another factor, which is the days on the market. Days on the market for November were 20 days. So if you listed your house today, within 20 days, you should have your home sold, right? So that's 20 days, which is an 81% increase from November of last year. Last year, things were selling in 11 days, right? So again, this time of the year, things slow down. If we take a look at like the last 3 years, so if we look at November of 2019, things were selling in 24 days. So right now they're selling at 20. There's a cyclical pattern to the real estate market. Obviously the last few years have been, pretty unique. Homes are taking longer to sell, but it's not something that's making me worry that, home prices and the market is going to crash or anything like that. The market has definitely shifted and it's adjusting, so that's good. The other thing I want to take a look at, so again, days on the market is demand. Let's take a look at percentage of the original price. So for November, it was at 97.8. So that means that if you listed your house for $100,000, it would sell for about $97,000. And so what that tells us is, there's definitely more negotiating power for buyers. And I've seen that as I've been working with clients, with buyers. You can get a home inspection now. You can ask for maybe some closing costs, and your offer doesn't have to be at asking price. You can negotiate. So there's definitely more power if you're a buyer right now, which I think is obviously a good thing. Okay, now let's take a look at supply. So what are things that are affecting supply? So month supply is a metric that tells us basically like if no new homes came in the market, right? How long would it take for for every home to sell and we wouldn't have any homes available? So we're at 1.4. It was up to like 1.8. Again, this is pretty low. And this is that one metric that really tells us like, are we in a seller's market or are we in a buyer's market? And that's another question that I've been getting a lot. And so let me just give you some perspective. I'm going to push this to the max. So if you look at, 2007, 2008, well, let's look prior to 2007, we were at like 6 months, right? And then obviously the crash happened. And then we went all the way to almost a year. If, it would take a year before, even if no new homes came to the market, for there to be any homes. And this is where we are now. So we are not close to we're not close to a buyer's market yet. It's still a seller's market. Will we get to a buyer's market? Maybe, but it sure is feeling like more of a buyer's market than a seller. So hopefully I didn't confuse you with that, but the point is that it's still a very healthy market. Now, let's take a look at new listings, and let's take it from max to 1 year. So new listings, actually, this is one of the things that, makes me a little bit, not worried, but just kind of curious to see what's going to happen, because for the month of November, we had 91 new listings. So we're down 21.6% compared to November of last year. So my biggest concern with this number is that come the spring market, if let's say interest rates right now, by the way, are around 6.125% for a 30-year mortgage, prime borrower. 6.125. So let's just say that interest rates stayed at that 6%, which is good because before it was like closer to a little over 7%. So it's gone down. It's good. Let's say interest rates stay at 6% for the spring market. My guess is that there's not gonna be that many homes for sale, or as many homes as there should be, because people who bought homes with lower rates are now thinking, well, it's harder for you to move someone with a 2 or 3% rate to buy something at a 6% rate, right? So if there's not that many homes, so supply is gonna be down, and in the spring the demand for homes always goes up, and so I think that's gonna cause prices to go up, right? So again, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that interest rates go down in the springtime, or by the springtime, right? But now let's think about that. So if interest rates go down in the springtime, what's going to happen is there's going to be more demand, because now rates are lower, more buyers can get into the market. And then obviously there'll be more people now say, well, if instead of 6%, I can buy a house at 5%, now I'm able to move. So there'll be more buyers, more sellers, but then that would still cause home prices to go up, right? So again, I don't have a crystal ball, but I guess my point with saying all this is, if you can find a home that you like right now, even though rates are higher, you can get a better price. This is just something to consider. Homes for sales are up about 21%. There's 230 homes for sale in November, and that makes sense because homes aren't selling as quick. So there are more homes available for sale that have been listed for a number of days, right? And then if we looked at pending sales are down about 34%, and that makes sense because homes are staying longer in the market, so you won't see as many. So hopefully these numbers make sense. If you're not a numbers person, I'm sorry. But let's just talk now more about, okay, if you're a buyer, what are some things that you can do? So the first thing you should do is, let's say you're thinking about buying a house within the next year or even like 6 months, right? Meet with a lender. If you need a great lender, I can refer you someone that's gonna be an advisor to you, really help you, give you options. Rates are at 6.125% more or less right now, but that doesn't mean that that's your rate. There's different options where you can get ARMs or adjustable rate mortgages, and there's different options and things you can do if it works for you to get a lower rate. So meet with a lender, explore your options, figure out what's your monthly payments, and then also what's like the most you can afford in a home, and then meet with a real estate agent and see, based on what you're looking for, is that something that's doable and achievable. Oftentimes it is. So start early, be proactive, don't buy something that is going to be hard for you to pay later on. Buy something that's low maintenance, that you can afford. Get into something that's comfortable. You also don't want to be house poor. It ends up happening where you can't buy right now. That's okay. You can rent. Renting is not a bad thing either. So if you're a buyer, those are just some tips and kind of practical advice. If you have any more questions, let me know on the below the video description, on the comments. Let me know what questions you have if you're thinking about buying. Now let's talk about sellers. So if you're a seller, some of the things that you need to do is you need to put more effort into getting your home ready. A year ago or 6 months ago, you could basically just put your house in the market and it would sell. Now, it's still a good time if you're thinking about selling, either now or like the spring. You're gonna definitely have to make sure take care of the maintenance issues that you may have in your house. Make sure you declutter, stage your home. Just you gotta put more work, and work with a professional realtor that can help you with that. You want to have professional photos. Don't just have your realtor or someone else just take pictures with their cell phones. I know that cell phone cameras have come a long way, and they're really good, but get a professional photographer. Either have a stager, either work with what you already have to make every space in your house optimal and have a purpose. And make sure you paint if you need to paint. Just put the work in it into your home, because it's gonna pay off. You'll sell your home quicker and for more money. If you're a seller, don't stress about oh, is my house gonna sell for less than what I bought it for, or how long is it gonna take. Just talk to a professional realtor. They'll help you with a plan, and you should be fine if you follow that advice. And finally, just like you, there's other people also curious about what's going on in the real estate market and whether or not they should buy now or wait, or when's a good time to sell and what's going on. So if you found value in this video, please share it with your friends, family, or anyone you think that would benefit from it. And if you found value in it, please hit the like button so other people can also get access to the video. Thanks for watching.